You can read hundreds of self-development books, watch countless inspirational videos, and repeatedly tell yourself that you love who you are. But if you have yet to truly understand one core truth, no matter how hard you try, the love you long for will always remain out of reach. Today, I am not here just to share conventional theories or offer empty words of encouragement. I am here to give you a key, something that perhaps no one has ever told you before. This is a profound truth that the great psychologist Carl Jung discovered, and if you grasp it, you will never see yourself or the world the same way again. Are you ready to listen? If you're watching this video, it means that somewhere, deep within your soul, you have felt something more waiting for you to uncover. And today, we will step through that door together. What I'm about to share with you goes beyond merely accepting your darkness or seeking inner balance. It is not just a matter of philosophy or spirituality, but a practical way to apply these insights to create real, tangible change in your life. Because knowledge without action is merely theory, and I believe you are not here just to listen to an abstract lecture. You are searching for something to help you break free from the cycle of pain, doubt, and the feeling of being unworthy of love. By the time this video ends, you will understand why you've struggled to receive love and appreciation and have a clear, practical strategy to transform your relationship with yourself. And once you truly change how you see and treat yourself, every relationship in your life will also shift. This is not about superficial advice or abstract concepts. This is about real action. This is your opportunity to break free from the barriers holding you back for so long. And if you are truly ready, we will walk through that door together. Your relationships with others are not random or coincidental. Every person who enters your life carries a message, a lesson you must learn. The things that draw you to someone, or even the things that frustrate you, are not just about them. They are a direct reflection of what remains unresolved within you. Take a moment to think about the most recent person who evoked a strong emotional response in you, whether it was deep admiration, respect, or, on the other hand, disappointment, hurt, or even anger. Have you ever wondered why they had such a powerful effect on your emotions? That person is not merely a passing character in your story. They are a mirror reflecting parts of you, unacknowledged desires, unhealed wounds, or even qualities you have yet to fully recognize within yourself. If you pay close attention, you'll realize that what you admire in someone else may be something you long to express in yourself. Conversely, the things that irritate you about others are often the very aspects of yourself that you have rejected. Recognizing this is the first step to fundamentally transforming how you see yourself and build relationships. When you understand that the external world merely reflects your inner world, you will no longer feel like a victim of circumstances. Instead, you will see that every encounter, every relationship, whether beautiful or challenging, is an opportunity to understand yourself better and evolve into a more complete version of who you are. Have you ever wondered why you are drawn to certain people, even when they make you feel insecure, anxious, or hurt? Or why do you keep feeling frustrated and annoyed by people who exhibit traits you cannot tolerate, not just in them, but within yourself as well? This is not a coincidence. Every strong emotional reaction toward others is a sign that something within you is asking to be understood, confronted, and healed. Think about the recent relationships in your life. Is there someone who makes you feel like you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not successful enough? Or perhaps someone you constantly clash with, someone whose habits or traits you find unbearable? This isn't just about personal differences or behavioral issues. In reality, these people serve as mirrors, reflecting the parts of yourself that you have yet to fully accept or are not ready to face. Today, you will learn how to use this mirror consciously. Instead of letting negative emotions control you, you will learn to look deeper within yourself and listen to the messages those emotions are trying to convey. You will uncover the parts of you that are speaking up, longing to be acknowledged, loved, and healed. Because if you don't, you will continue to repeat the same cycles in your relationships. You will keep searching for love in places that cannot truly fulfill your heart's deepest needs. But when you realize that everything you seek outside of yourself begins within, you will no longer chase after things that leave you empty. Instead, you will start cultivating a love that is genuine, from within. And from that place, your relationships will transform in ways you never imagined. The real question is not, why is this person acting this way? But, what is this person reflecting to me about myself? This powerful mindset shift allows you to see every relationship from a deeper, more meaningful perspective. This concept, known as the relationship mirror, is not just about how others treat you. It is a sophisticated psychological mechanism in which your strongest emotional reactions, whether love or hate, point to aspects of yourself that remain unexplored or unaccepted. When someone makes you feel angry, hurt, jealous, or even deeply admired, it is not merely because of who they are, but because they are reflecting something about you. It could be an unresolved wound, a part of yourself that you have suppressed, or an aspect of your being that you have not yet dared to express to the world. Take a closer look at the patterns in your relationships. Do you find yourself consistently drawn to a certain type of person? Perhaps you seek those who make you feel safe, yet later find them too predictable. Or maybe you are attracted to strong-willed individuals, only to later feel suffocated by their control. On the other hand, is there a particular kind of person you instinctively avoid? Those who are overly confident, too emotionally fragile, exceptionally successful? Both of these reactions, attraction and avoidance, carry important messages. They are not random. They are indicators that something within you is calling for deeper exploration. Attraction and resistance are two sides of the same coin, reflecting your inner world. Someone you admire may display the qualities you long to embody, but have not yet embraced. Someone who irritates you may remind you of a part of yourself you have rejected. Once you recognize this, you will no longer feel controlled by your emotions in relationships. Instead, you can begin using those emotions as tools for deeper self-awareness. And when you truly understand yourself, you will start attracting relationships that reflect your best version, rather than a version trapped in old wounds. You cannot fully love another person unless you have learned to accept everything about yourself, your light and your shadow. True love is about recognizing what is good within you and embracing your flaws, your wounds, and the parts of yourself you have long tried to hide. Think about the aspects of yourself that you dislike. Perhaps impatience, a feeling of not being good enough, or deep insecurities you have yet to acknowledge. These form your shadow. But the shadow is not something to be eliminated or denied. It is a part of you, and until you learn to integrate it, you will unconsciously project your insecurities onto others. You will continue seeking validation from the outside rather than within. You will be caught in your relationship's cycles of disappointment, expectations, and pain. Whenever you harshly judge someone, ask yourself, what is this reflecting about me? The traits that irritate you most in others often mirror the parts of yourself that you have not yet accepted or faced. Have you ever been annoyed by people who are too loud while secretly longing to express yourself more freely? Have you criticized those who seem lazy while constantly feeling pressured to work without rest? Pay close attention to your strong emotional reactions. They are not random feelings. They are clues leading you to deeper self-awareness. Instead of blaming or trying to change others, turn inward and ask, what is this teaching me about myself? When you can see yourself as a whole, without judgment or avoidance, you will no longer be trapped in conflict-filled relationships. You will learn to love from a place of balance without basing love on lack or expectation. And when you love yourself in this way, the love you give and receive will become purer and more profound than ever before. One of the most powerful exercises for understanding and healing yourself is to write a letter to your shadow, the part of you that you have long tried to deny or hide. Instead of avoiding it, take a moment to face it with empathy and sincerity. Start by acknowledging its existence. Your shadow is not your enemy. It has been with you throughout your entire life, silently protecting you in ways you may not have realized. It might manifest as defensiveness, anger, fear, or recurring negative patterns. But instead of seeing it as something evil that needs to be eradicated, try looking at it from a different perspective. It is a part of you that once tried to help you survive and adapt to difficult circumstances. Write a letter to it as if you were speaking to an old friend. Express gratitude for how it has protected you from pain, rejection, and abandonment. Let it know that you understand why it exists. But at the same time, share with it that you no longer need those old defense mechanisms, that you are ready to step into a new phase of life where you can be at peace with yourself without running or fighting against your own nature. This inner dialogue can be the beginning of a deep reconciliation with yourself. When you dare to face and embrace the parts of yourself that you once deemed unworthy or unacceptable, you will realize that your shadow was never truly against you. It has simply been waiting for you to acknowledge it with compassion so that you can integrate it into your being as a whole. The remarkable thing is that when you do this, you won't just feel lighter. You will begin to see life and relationships through a profoundly different lens. Old wounds or unconscious reactions will no longer control you. Instead, you will experience a true sense of freedom and peace, a state where you are no longer at war with yourself, but instead living in harmony, love, and complete acceptance of who you are. Relationships are not just about human connections. They are challenging classrooms and real-life tests of our growth and awareness. If life is a learning journey, then relationships are where we are placed in the most intense situations, forcing us to confront the deepest aspects of our souls. Anyone who enters your life, whether they bring joy or pain, carries a specific lesson. Some people appear to help you open your heart, teaching you about love and genuine connection. Others force you to face your fears, insecurities, or unhealed wounds. Whether the experience is positive or painful, everyone serves as a teacher, consciously or unconsciously, helping you understand yourself more deeply. And here's the key. The pattern will keep repeating itself until you fully learn the lesson that a relationship is meant to teach you. Have you ever noticed that you keep finding yourself in the same types of relationships over and over? Maybe you are always drawn to people who make you feel inadequate, or you constantly find yourself in relationships filled with conflict and misunderstandings. This is not a coincidence. It is a sign that there is a lesson you have yet to integrate. And until you do, life will continue to place you in similar situations, allowing you to recognize, understand, and grow. Realizing this doesn't mean you should fear or avoid relationships. On the contrary, this awareness empowers you to change. When you start observing the patterns in your life, you can pause and ask yourself, what am I meant to learn from this experience? You will no longer be trapped in old cycles when you truly grasp the lesson and shift your response. Instead, you will move forward to a new level, where relationships are no longer a source of suffering or disappointment, but a space for growth, connection, and authentic love. If you leave a relationship thinking you've learned the lesson, only to find yourself in the same situation with a person of similar traits, it is not a coincidence or fate playing tricks on you. It is a clear sign that an inner wound remains unhealed, an unlearned lesson. We often believe that failed relationships result from bad choices or destiny. But in reality, every type of person you attract into your life reflects something about your internal belief system, especially the limiting beliefs you unconsciously carry from the past. Consider the recurring patterns in your relationships. If you keep experiencing betrayal, it may be because, deep down, you hold a subconscious belief that you are not worthy of loyalty, perhaps due to an experience that made you feel unworthy of being treated with sincerity. If you constantly find yourself in relationships where the other person tries to control you, it could be that you have unconsciously believed you are not strong enough to take charge of your own life. As a result, you attract people who assume the role of making decisions for you. Every toxic pattern stems from a deep-seated belief about yourself. And until you change that belief, you will continue to recreate similar experiences. The key is not to try to change the external world, but to look within and understand why you have allowed these patterns to unfold. You cannot heal by running away or changing the person you love. You can only break free from this cycle when you consciously confront the limiting beliefs that led you there in the first place. Once you realize that you fully deserve respect, loyalty, and healthy love, you will no longer remain stuck in relationships that bring you pain. Instead, you will begin to attract people who reflect the true value you have come to recognize within yourself. True love is not a hidden treasure buried somewhere out there, waiting for you to find it. It is not a matter of luck, nor is it a gift that someone else will deliver to you on a perfect day. True love is a journey, a process of steady building piece by piece, and that journey begins with you right now. We often believe that love is something to be found, that if we meet the right person and love the right way, we will finally attain happiness. But this perspective places love in an external realm, causing us to constantly chase relationships that we hope will fill the emptiness inside. And when things don't turn out as expected, we feel disappointed, hurt, and even doubt ourselves. But the truth is, love has never been something outside of you. It has always been there, within you, waiting to be recognized. Love is not something you need to search for. It is something you need to awaken from within. When you begin to cultivate self-love and self-acceptance and become your greatest companion, you will no longer seek love from a place of lack. And the moment you stop expecting love from others to complete you, you will realize something extraordinary. You already have it. Love is not something to be seized or held onto. It is a flow, an energy, a natural connection between souls that honor and value each other. When you love yourself authentically, you will naturally attract relationships that reflect that love, not from desperation or longing, but from wholeness and inner peace. So instead of searching for love in someone else or in a distant place, begin by building it within yourself. When you do this, true love will no longer be something you have to chase. It will find its way to you most naturally. No one can love you more fully, deeply, and sincerely than you can. This is not just an inspirational phrase, but a fundamental truth of all relationships. The love you give to yourself determines not only how you treat yourself, but also how others treat you. It sets the standard for every relationship in your life. Think about this. If you constantly criticize yourself, believing that you are not good enough or not worthy, how can you expect others to love you unconditionally? If you don't value yourself, you will easily accept relationships that do not honor your worth. Relationships where you constantly have to prove yourself or seek validation from others. But when you love yourself genuinely and fully recognize your value, you will no longer feel the need to chase love or depend on it for a sense of completeness. And that is the key. Everything changes when you truly understand that love is not something to be searched for, fought over, or held onto, but rather something you express. Love is no longer a race, a waiting game, or a condition to be fulfilled. Instead, it becomes a natural part of who you are, a reflection of self-worth, inner abundance, and a heart that has learned to embrace itself fully. True love does not begin outside of you. It originates within. And when you are whole within yourself, the relationships around you will mirror that wholeness. You will no longer find yourself stuck in cycles of pain or unmet expectations, but instead, you will attract connections that align with who you are. So rather than placing all your hopes on finding someone to fill the emptiness inside, focus on building the deepest, most loving relationship with yourself. Only when you love yourself completely can the world reflect that love back to you in the most authentic way.